Lord Commander Archibald thought Christmas was silly. Bah humbug, he'd say. He liked marching and training more than carols and presents. Archibald lived in a big castle on a snowy mountain. It was always cold and quiet there. This Christmas, he felt grumpier than ever. Presents are pointless, he grumbled, and carols are too loud. He stomped off to his study and slammed the door. In his study, Archibald often found solace among the ancient tomes and relics of a bygone era. The room was filled with the scent of old books and polished wood, a sanctuary from the bustling world outside. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a mysterious package was waiting on his desk, its presence both unexpected and intriguing. It was wrapped in silver paper with a big red bow, glinting under the soft light of the study lamp. Curious, Archibald opened it with a mix of excitement and caution. Inside was a golden compass, unlike any he had ever seen. It was exquisitely crafted, with intricate designs etched into its surface. It shimmered with a strange light, casting an ethereal glow that seemed almost magical. The compass felt warm to the touch, as if it held a life of its own. Its needle spun around and around, then pointed towards the fireplace with a determined finality, as if it had a purpose. A note was attached to the compass, its edges slightly worn, suggesting it had traveled far. "Follow me," it said, in fancy writing that seemed to dance across the paper, inviting and mysterious. Intrigued, Archibald held the compass tight, feeling a surge of anticipation. What could this mean? Where would it lead him? He stepped into the fireplace, heart pounding, and vanished in a swirl of snow and embers, leaving behind the familiar world he knew. He landed softly on a bed of snow. Archibald looked around. His cold castle was gone. He was in a happy village. Children laughed and threw snowballs. Lights twinkled on the houses. The smell of gingerbread filled the air. He'd never seen so much joy. A kind old woman offered him a warm gingerbread man. He took a bite. It was the tastiest thing he'd ever eaten. As Archibald explored the snowy village, he noticed something extraordinary. The villagers didn't have many material possessions, but they were generous and happy. Their joy was infectious, spreading warmth and cheer throughout the village. They helped each other with whatever they had, sharing food, resources, and their time. It was a community built on mutual support and love. Archibald saw a young boy give his only toy to a crying child. The act of kindness was simple yet profound. The boy's face lit up with happiness, and the crying child's tears turned into a bright smile. Archibald felt a warmth in his chest, a feeling he hadn't experienced in a long time. It wasn't from the fireplace or the cold winter air. For the first time, Archibald understood the true essence of Christmas. Christmas wasn't about presents or big meals or the glittering decorations. It was about kindness, giving, and love. It was about the small acts of generosity that brought people together and made the world a better place. Gap 2S. Archibald returned to his castle a changed man. The journey he had undertaken was not just a physical one, but a journey of the soul. He had left as a stern and unyielding lord, but he returned with a heart softened by the lessons he had learned. The cold, imposing walls of his castle seemed to welcome him back with a warmth he had never felt before. The compass disappeared. Its job was done. It had guided him not just through the treacherous paths of the forest, but through the complexities of his own heart. The magical compass had shown him the way to compassion and understanding, and now it faded away, leaving behind a man transformed. He gathered his soldiers and servants. The grand hall, usually filled with the sounds of feasting and revelry, now buzzed with a different kind of energy. There was a sense of anticipation in the air, as everyone waited to hear what their lord had to say. "This year we celebrate Christmas differently," he said. His voice, once commanding and stern, now carried a tone of warmth and sincerity. The soldiers and servants exchanged curious glances, wondering what had brought about this change in their lord. He told them about the village. He spoke of the humble villagers who had shown him kindness and generosity, despite having so little themselves. He recounted the stories of their simple yet profound acts of goodwill, which had touched his heart deeply. He told them about the true meaning of Christmas. He explained that it was not about grand feasts or lavish gifts, but about love, compassion, and sharing with those in need. His words resonated with everyone in the hall, and they felt a newfound sense of purpose. They shared their food and gifts with people who needed them. The castle residents, inspired by Archibald's transformation, gathered their resources and set out to help the less fortunate. They visited the village, bringing food, clothing, and gifts to those who needed them most. They sang carols and spread cheer. The joyous melodies filled the air, creating an atmosphere of unity and celebration. The villagers and castle residents came together, their voices blending in harmony as they sang songs of hope and joy. Archibald, no longer grumpy, finally understood the magic of Christmas. He realized that the true spirit of the season was not found in material wealth or power, but in the simple acts of kindness and love that brought people together. And in that moment, he felt a happiness he had never known before.